Good evening. It is May 23rd here at SpaceX headquarters in Hawthorne, California. You are currently looking at a live view of the Falcon 9 as it awaits its 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time launch from Cape Canaveral Air Force Station in Florida. My name is Tom Perderio and I'm a software engineer here at SpaceX. Today's launch is a particularly exciting one as it's our first launch of a new production design satellite for our Starlink broadband network. Back in 2015, SpaceX announced that we'd be tackling a new challenge, delivering cost-effective broadband internet to consumers around the globe. We've got a long way to go before we get to that point, but if successful, we'll be able to deliver high-quality broadband internet to people all over the world, including those who have never had service before. Today, we will be attempting to recover the first stage for the third time on our drone ship, Of Course I Still Love You, which is currently stationed about 325 nautical miles northeast of Cape Canaveral and 100 nautical miles off the coast of Charleston, South Carolina. Each of those individual 60 satellites weighs about 227 kilograms or 500 pounds each. So while they're smaller than a typical communications satellite, they're still pretty sizable when you stack them all together. And that flat panel design maximizes space, allowing for a very dense launch stack, as you can see right on your screen right now, to take full advantage of that Falcon 9's launch capabilities. Starlink is also the very first Krypton-propelled spacecraft ever flown. Aside from being the native planet of Superman, Krypton also happens to be a nice blend of cost-effective and efficient propellant for ion propulsion.
Stage 1's at startup pressures.
2 minutes, 15 seconds.
Falcon 9 is configured for flight.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 0. Ignition. Liftoff.
Vehicle is pitching downrange.
Visual propulsion nominal. Head operation securing. Section 59 on LVNet.
Watching the Falcon 9 as it ascends through the atmosphere carrying the SpaceX Starlink payload of satellites.
Vehicle is experiencing maximum aerodynamic pressure.
The vehicle has passed through max Q, which means that the atmosphere is only going to get thinner from here on out. Coming up shortly at T plus 2 minutes and 35 seconds is going to be, T plus 2 minutes and 32 seconds is going to be MECO. That stands for main engine cutoff. That's when those 9 Merlin engines you can see burning on your screen right now will shut off or cut off. Shortly, only a few seconds after that, will be stage separation at 2 minutes and 35 seconds, quickly followed by SES1. That stands for second engine start 1. That's when that single Merlin vacuum engine will ignite after stage separation.
Stage separation confirmed.
You can see it on your screen and you can hear it through the cheers of the crowd here at SpaceX headquarters that we just had a good MECO, we had a good stage separation, and we had a good second engine start. That second stage is now burning brightly on the right-hand side of your screen, accelerating the Starlink stack towards its deployment altitude. First stage. And on your right, you can see the fairing deploy from that Starlink satellite stack. The crowd here at headquarters cheering. I'm sure everyone up in Redmond is happy too. So as I said earlier, the first stage is now about to start its entry burn at 6 minutes and 23 seconds. This entry burn is to slow that first stage down just a little bit before it hits the thicker regions of the atmosphere. You can see the camera on the first stage on the left-hand side of your screen right now. It's dark, but in a few minutes, those Merlin engines at the bottom of that first stage will light up, and there they go.
Entry burn has started.
That is the start of the entry burn.
stage 1, energy burn shutdown.
And you can see some aerodynamic flows past those grid fins right now on the first stage as it gets into the thicker and thicker regions of the atmosphere. Landing burn started at 8 minutes and 9 seconds, and the landing is scheduled for 8 minutes and 30 seconds, just about now. It sounds like we may have confirmation that the first stage has landed. That is a shot from Of Course I Still Love You of the first stage of the Falcon 9 rocket for its third landing.
Nominal parking orbit insertion.
Always great to see those first stages come back. Welcome back to the webcast for the Starlink mission. Just for those of us joining us, we did have an on-time liftoff at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time from Cape Canaveral. That first stage was able to accelerate the second stage into orbit and then touch back down on the deck of Course I Still Love You. And then the second stage was able to complete its 2 scheduled burns. The second stage is now currently at the target deployment altitude of 440 kilometers above the surface of the Earth. As you can see on your screen right here, this is a beautiful view of those the stack of those Starlink satellites as they prepare for deployment. Deployment is scheduled for T plus 2 minutes and 10 seconds. Let's stand by and watch.
Starlink constellation deploy confirmed.
And we have confirmation of deploy. You can hear the team in the background. This is an incredible moment for SpaceX. You can see those flat-packed Starlink satellites slowly gliding away from the top of the second stage. This is the highest number of satellites that SpaceX has ever deployed in a single time. There are no deployment mechanisms between those spacecraft, so they really are just slowly fanning out like a deck of cards into space. You can see those spacecraft starting to separate as they naturally glide away from each other. The sun is glinting pretty strongly off the panels and the bodies of those spacecraft, so it's tough to see them individually, but you can kind of see one breaking away from the pack right now. Those spacecraft will slowly disperse over time. With that successful deployment, we're going to be bringing the webcast to a close. For those of you who just caught the end here, we did have successful liftoff, successful first and second stage and activities, and then finally a beautiful deploy, as you can still see ongoing on your screen right now at 440 kilometers above the Earth. It's been a very exciting launch day today here at SpaceX, but we really are just getting started. Please, thank you to the 45th Space Wing for range safety and to the FAA for licensing today's launch, as well as the FCC for our first operational Starlink satellite licenses. We'd also like to thank all of our viewers for tuning in. Please follow our website and social media platforms for updates on our next missions and milestones. It's been an honor to host tonight's webcast. Have a good night.